Hello guys. Hi everyone. Good afternoon. How are you doing? I hope you guys are doing good. Thank you for clicking back on this channel and thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate all of you that have subscribed to the channel. God bless you. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for those of you that calls in to talk to me. In as much as most of you have not known exactly what most of my videos are directing to, most of you are zooming, thinking from your own view or your own perspectives, and advising. I really thank you for your care, for your efforts. God bless you for being part of me. And for my new subscribers, thank you. For those of you who are already subscribed and waiting for my stories to start unfolding, I love you all. So on today's video, I want to talk a little bit, just a little tips of me and what's going on. Not really like what's going on, but I want to start telling you guys the story bit by bit. It's no longer news that you guys must have been noticing, most of you that knows me from different other platforms, that hey, it looks like Ify is having some issues in her marriage. Unfortunately, yeah, there is an issue going on in my marriage. It has not been going well, right? But those are stories that I don't want to just jump into. A lot of people have judged me. A lot of people have blamed me, I would say. A lot of people have concluded whatever is going on in the marriage, I am the one. It is my fault. It is my curse. It is my wish. It is everything, A lot of people. But thank God there are some people as well who knows, or some people who would believe when I talk. And some people who will believe me, in as much as I am not expecting everybody to support me. I am not even expecting everybody to believe me. One thing is that I have decided to make this program my story, and this channel is not asking for sympathy. I am not here to look for sympathy. I am not here to disappoint you. When you put your trust on people, they will disappoint you. Your family will disappoint you. Your friends will disappoint you. People you hold firm will disappoint you. So I am not here to look for pity, but I've decided to share some of my stories with you guys. The intention of sharing my stories is to help the men, both men and women. My platform will not judge anybody. My platform will tell my story. My platform will use my story to let you as a man see and look at things that might cause you trouble or cause you pain or cause failure in your marriage or in your relationship, to correct it, as well to the woman, for you to think and look into what you are going into, how and what you want from it, and how to make it work out. All right. So before I go on, this video today is people have been asking, do you know your man, or how I get to know him? Okay, so this video is how I met my when I was in Nigeria, I was doing this kind of I am more of an I am an extrovert, but also an introvert. I can be very fun, play, laugh, but I'm not the kind of woman that puts so much interest. Like, I feel scared, putting myself into men. I am not, that kind of thing. Those kind of women that flirts, want a man to notice them, go do things for a man to notice them. I am not that kind of person. Reason that I was not that kind of person is because I was inferior. And in one of my videos, which I have not uploaded, I have said about my inferiority complex, what inferiority complex did to me. So I was very inferior. I am always very scared of, putting attention on men. So I was mostly locked up in my own shell when it comes to men. So, but in order I am a girl, I am an adult, like growing up is, like these things that people, maybe you're going out and a man comes and says hello, all those kind of a thing, and then you turn around and say hi. I didn't do it. Like, there must be something that could connect me and that person for me to become close to you. And that was why I became close to then, like Yahoo Messenger. So when I had access to Yahoo Messenger. It was the kind of comfort zone for me because then I go into Yahoo Messenger, you add people add for friendship, and you add them up, you chat, you send that stays in the house, and then chat with people like that. That was my comfort zone. Okay, so then there was a time I worked even when I did TED, and then after a while, I ended my relationship. I was working in a place that took me like I was working in an environment that I didn't have time for myself. Like I was so locked up, stay, work, everything, living there, everything was there. And I didn't have time for a relationship. So when I decided to have time for a relationship, that's when I started getting to know about social dating sites where people can go and date people and all that. So I picked interest and I decided to like, I'm going to stop working, go out there and go learn something for myself. Then as well open up for a relationship. So I worked towards stopping my job. I stopped my job and then planned and saved to go and learn on cosmetics, that is makeup and skincare. So but that very year that I decided to stop working, which I've told my boss that I was going to stop that December. So that very year, it was in 2010 December, that very period during the Ember month, I joined into all these dating sites, okay, and then there are so many people, and honestly, apart from that time, other people that came into my life, even people through introduction, connection, I was always very scared. I didn't give in time. I was not open because I was scared. I wanted somebody I would see in the same level that I was. That is a story for another day. But let me just say how I met my husband. So during that very 3 months in Ember time, I, connected with him on these dating sites. And then we started talking, and then he was like, I would like to come see you, and all that. I'm like, fine, it's okay. But truly, that period, I have already decided because there were suitors coming in. But I decided to stop my job. Then I can open myself again be open for relationship. But I needed to stop my job first, go learn something, which I got support in different ways. But then when he now came and then he said he was coming to see me, I was like, it's okay. Now look at it. I am going to stop my work this September, so I'm going to Lagos to go and learn something. So if you're around, then I can see you. So I finished working in December, and in January I had to go to Lagos to go learn my skincare. So made a plan to come to Nigeria to see me. So. Well, that's why. Let me highlight this. I made a post on my page, and somebody was like, I don't know who he is. He said, your husband came to see another of his girlfriend who he promised to marry, and then when he saw you, he now switched over to marry you. He didn't go further to the girl again. Well, as of the time I met him, we were talking, and then he told me if I really want, he would really want to come and see me, that period. I said, okay. And when he booked his flights, where he stayed, where he was going to stay, I was the one who helped to sort those things out. He came as well. He said he doesn't want his family to know he's coming home. I was the one to help and arrange all those things. His family didn't know he was coming home. So I don't understand. Probably, probably he was already making another appointment with another girl, and then when he saw me, he switched off. I don't know. But as what I know, he never said anything like he wanted to come and see somebody. He never said anything like, he was making it like, okay, I'm coming because of you. I'm going to come because of you. I don't want my family to know where I'm staying or where I was going to be or that I'm even coming. I was the one and one of his friends that went to the airport and received him when he came home. So, but I met him on that dating site. He came home. He saw me that very day, me and my friend from the makeup school. we helped to arrange for a hotel for him where he was going to stay, and then went to the airport to receive him with a friend of his. So after that, because he gave me the contact of the guy, so after that, we now went to the hotel where I reserved for him. It was there because we went to the bar and eat and all that. It was at that same day that he came home, that he gave me, that same day when he saw me, he now asked me if I would marry him. Okay, after this guy made this comment, I was like, does it mean that probably he must have bought a wedding ring, or sorry, an engagement ring to engage this very girl? Because he asked me, I remember he asked me in like when he was still in Europe, well, before he came, he was like, if I come and if you allow me, I am willing to engage you. You understand that? I am willing to engage you. I'm like, well, until you come. So who knows? I don't know if you had bought the ring, if the ring was actually for me. If the ring was actually for me, because it was this very new news that I'm like, okay, maybe the ring was not, if the ring was for me or for someone else. So you guys should just not mind about the echoing in the background, okay? Because the house, a lot of things is removed, so there's space. So, and then I didn't know if the ring was for me, because this is a new one. You know, men, they can keep a lot of things. He never told me he wanted to engage on any girl before, or he was coming to engage. He never told me that. Upon this 9 years of us staying together, he never mentioned that. But I've heard about so many other things, so which I don't know. But then, that very day he came, I think he came on the 12th or so. And then he was like, do you really like me? Do you like my kind of person and all that? And but one thing is that there's something I told God. There is something I asked God, you know, like this other time, like I didn't want to marry because I want to marry somebody who is rich. I didn't want to marry somebody who is educated because I was inferior of myself, of my very own self. But I was like, God, if you give me a man that I will see as my friend, as a brother, and as a husband, then that will be all. And you know, as of that time, I'm somebody who loves being happy. I love smiling. I love people who likes being happy. And this person came, you know, showcasing that kind of, little of that kind of, he's always very smiley person, like always smiling, which got me attracted to him. I'm like, I like people who smile, who is not always with this mean face, you know. People call me laughing gas, if you know me very well. Some people call me laughing gas in Nigeria, you know, in those days, okay. So I love laughing. So with his laughter, I got attracted. I'm like, I love somebody who laughs like this. So on that 12th, he came back, right? So on the 14th, we had to go for Valentine. It was a Valentine evening, and then he asked if we can go for Valentine evening and dinner, just go to club or go to any place that we can have. They are doing any activities. So when then, it was now on that Valentine evening that he asked me if I would marry him. Oh my God, he brought the ring. I'm like, oh, I'm getting engaged. Got a big picture here. So he asked me if I was going to marry him. I was like, yes, okay, if you want. So I was like, well, if you want to, why not? Because I felt like I'm already matured enough, and I didn't want to, I told him that normally I have said to myself that I don't want to marry. I don't want to date before marriage. I don't want to, you know, be in a relationship, because I felt like I want to do like my parents did. They didn't date and they got married and they're still living together up to now. So I said, I really don't want to date. I want somebody who is serious and who, if my spirit connects with you, then why not? If you accept me, then why not? You understand, that kind of a thing. So, and that was it. And then he asked me to marry him. I'm like, okay. So when we got back, I accepted to marry you just to tell that I really accept your kind of, I accepted you from seeing you. I don't want you to feel like, you know, I am this kind of girls that want to take, maybe eat from you, which you don't even have, or, you know, have another impression. But as a person, I like you. And I also said I don't want to date somebody. But let me tell you, one thing is that if you even don't give me a wedding, an engagement ring, for me, it does not satisfy or guarantee that we're going to marry. So engagement ring can be you want to engage me and get back to your Europe. Listen, I have so many suitors. I told him pop and plain. I have so many suitors. I have people who were connecting their brother, who were connecting their family, who were connecting people to, you know, this connection thing in Nigeria. I also have people that I've met on my own that were serious, but I was only scared because of the space, the standard, you know, they are. But these people were trying to show me how much they care about me, which I saw him, which he saw, that there were people who were interested in, you know, settling down with me as of that time. So when I told him, you know, I can accept this wedding ring to you, but probably I might give you some few time because I don't want to start, you know, wasting my time doing what I don't understand. So I will accept it from you, but I am not guaranteeing you that because I've given me this engagement ring, then if you're not serious, I'm not going to leave. I'm not going to move on. So he was like, he understood that. And then he was like, okay, can I meet your parents and all that? So I called my parents, and then he went for to meet my parents the first time. So before that time, before he could leave, he had about like 4 weeks holidays. But he was like, he saw that yes, what I said was true, and he didn't want to miss me. And then he went to see my parents for introduction, and then he then asked my dad if he could pay for bride price, if there's any way he can just pay for bride price to guarantee he's already for me or I'm already for him and all that. And my dad said, well, if she agreed, it's both of you. If she said pay my bride price, that means she's already for you, you know. But if you don't, she still have any rights and every right to move on with anybody she wants to move on with. So man, as of that time, man, I was confused, you know, because my younger brother, I remember when he told me, he was like, sister, did you pray? Did you really ask God questions? Did you really consider or think very well? Because don't use the fear you have and think maybe other people or you were not good for other people. Did you ask God? Did you pray very well? Because let it not be that you're trying to be a good girl, you're trying to show that you're a good girl or a nice girl, and then make a mistake. Because I was trying to just be I am not a gold digger. I want to show that, you know, I am someone who can be trusted, somebody who can accept any situation I find myself, you know, like I accepted him, like everything I accepted him, like I accept it. What so many girls cannot do, like you marry somebody who is in Europe, who come back from Europe, and then you saw a lot of things like this person from Europe, you come at all. But I accepted that because I was not in for whether he get money. I was not in for whether he's handsome. I was not in for whether he build house, whatever he have. I was not in for that. And as of that time, I was 24. I didn't feel like, you know, I must have to disturb myself with all those things. I was positive because I felt like, you know, what matters is that if a woman is with a man who is for him or for her, they both can grow together. You know, I said to myself, I remember my dad and my mom got married when my dad was still in a bachelor house. You know, the kind of a bachelor house, a wretched kind of house, bachelor. I remember I grew up, I was born in a bachelor house, bachelor, one room bachelor house. That was where my mom and my dad lived. You understand that? And they grew like that. In fact, I still remember vividly that we lived in a thatched roof house in the village. I remember when I was still a child. But now we don't live in a thatched roof house again. We don't live in a thatched roof. My father has his own house in my village, and in the city he lives good. From a bachelor house to one room apartment to one room and parlor apartment to 2-bedroom flats, you know, 2-bedroom flat, now the flat they're living in now. You get it? So they grew, they became better. In as much as my mom never worked to support my father for any day. But they are together, my mom is having children, and my dad is, you know, taking care of her. But days changes, people grow. So I never believed or wanted to like believe in a man that, oh, I have to marry a man who is wealthy. We were entering mall, we were entering Okada. Now, person will come from Europe. Now, some people go say, even some of my friends like, are you serious? You know, Karika come back this. I'm like, why? Why must he Karika come back before I go marry him? You know, we're entering, you know that Lagos mall way kind of bosses. We go sit down. Oh my God, I suffered that time. Like, we go sit down, you know. And another thing is that going to Lagos, number one is that before I went to Lagos for my makeup training, I had someone who is very, very serious in my life who gave me money. He said, do not go to Lagos. Stay back in Port Harcourt because Port Harcourt is better and is where you are. He gave me money. He gave me enough money for me to be in Lagos, in Port Harcourt, to do that training. You know, but in fact, it was a white guy that was doing everything. Like, if I call on him, if I chat with him, if he sees me on camera, I was like, why is your hair like that? You know, I would say, yeah, I have not made my wire me money. And I've not seen him face to face. Up to today, I didn't see him face to face. And which my husband knew about this very guy, you know. But then, and the thing was that he gave me money. He said, do not go to Lagos. Lagos, I've been in Lagos. Lagos is so crowded. You know, you stay there, because he was pushing. It was like, you know, that there are people who come into your life and they encourage you, they guide you the best line. He was like, you are good as a model. You have a good stature to be into this beauty, the beauty line and all that. And it's something that I wanted to do as well. So this guy was guiding me. In fact, he connected me with so many people that up to today I am still grateful, you know, with that contact that I got, you know. So he gave me money. I said, do not go to Lagos. But I was talking with my ex-husband. I was talking with the father of my children, and I was telling him, you know, I want to go to Lagos. Somebody asked me to go. He said, why would you go to Lagos? You know, he was trying to like put me through, like, you don't have to go to Lagos. Anybody that wants to come and see you should come to the east and see you. So but you know, this guy said he was coming to Lagos because he sent something that he needed to be in Lagos to do, and he was like, okay, I said, okay, me too, let me come to Lagos, because I also felt like there are varieties of school in Lagos and I already booked one, you know, so many things like that. But then I went to Lagos, and then I met with him, and that period, it was not easy. Like, it wasn't easy with me and him there. But I accepted to marry him. Before he left, he paid my bride price, went for introduction, paid my bride price, and then went with the list, you know, for the traditional marriage stuff and all that. But then that is how I met my husband. You know, I met him online on a dating site. We connected that same week, that same month he came. So that same week he engaged me. That same within 1 week to 2 weeks he went for introduction. He paid my bride price under the 1 month before he left back. You understand? And that's how we became husband and wife automatically, without getting to know each other, without learning each other very well. You know, without deep knowledge of each other. You know, at least 10% of knowledge of each other. The only thing I noticed then was that he's somebody who, you know, who have temper. That's the thing I noticed then. I noticed his temperament even outside, even with, you know, people outside, strangers. I noticed how tempered he could be. It's a concern, because I really don't like loud men. I don't like men that are loud or that wants to show themselves outside. I am somebody who loves a gentleman, who have charisma, that when you're talking, you're laughing, you're making people happy around you, but not loud. So I noticed that he's that kind of person with temper, and he's loud as well when it comes outside, and when he's talking, like, you know, this kind of high-toned voice, talking, whoa, 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 whoa. Those are, even in that same time that I saw him, I'm like, why are you like that? Why are you like that? You know, but he was like, yeah, you know, his family had made him to turn to that kind of a person. So I felt, okay, according to him, it's something that his family had made him to become by shouting and talking. So I felt like maybe, you know, if I come into his life, he understand that I don't like it. He was going to change or willing to change. But that of him is a part that I don't know if it's something that is an inbuilt of inborn, or something that can ever change, because when it comes to loudness and, you know, aggressiveness and temper, he have it. He have it. So, but then we got married like that. you know, I thought maybe those things that I noticed were something that would change over time, but it didn't. That's never been a problem. Though it's a problem which I complain to, but that is not a problem that we, you know, that this whole marriage is fading, that is affecting our marriage. That part is not the part that is affecting our marriage, and I'll be giving you guys one bit by one bit what and how it all got to where it is now. But however, answering that question, how much do you know him, where did you actually meet him, all those questions, yes, I met him online. The time I met him, probably I didn't pray enough. I felt from my own kind of person, probably I didn't pray enough. Probably I didn't pray enough. In fact, there are so many todays that even when there was like, in fact, there was signs, but probably I didn't believe those signs, or probably I felt like these things were normal, you know, or stories, you know, but how it is and how it got. I met him online. Under 1 month, I met him. We got introduced to each other's parents, family, got married before he went back. So that is how I met him, and that's to answer your. Now, if you're gonna ask me, do I think it's a mistake that I made by, you know, getting married within that 1 month? I would say yes, it is a mistake. On my own, there are people who had met the same way, married the same way, and they are still living together. But, you know, if you ask those people questions, they will still tell you that it is better for you to know who you are dating, who you are married to. It is better because, you know, if you get to know this person before you come in, that marriage is not easy, right? But there is a level of heaviness it will be than when you just jump into it without nothing. You just jump in and wake up all of a sudden, and then, you know, oh, look at what is this, you know, that kind of a thing. And you jump into something that you don't know if you do shakara, you know, if like, for example, like, say maybe we date each other, you understand? Maybe if you shout or those kind of aggressiveness, I go like, I beg, no, I go waka. You understand everything? I can just walk or just go and maybe, you know, go call him again. Then, for some time, if he wants you, if he really wants you and likes you, he will still call back and apologize. You know what? I am going to work on this. And then he start working on this. And then you still have space for, like, you know, to do shakara and to threaten to say, no go fit continue like this. And then he would or she will learn to amend. But in a marriage, when it be say you don't come inside, it's difficult for the other person to change, especially for men. They go like, this is how I am, oh. You don't come, like you don't enter the motor, you don't enter the motor. So most of the men find it very difficult to change and to adapt, you know, to change. They feel like, you marry me and I saw my character there. Now there was no room for you to let them to change. So it's always very heavier and difficult when you marry someone without dating them. So in my own opinion, I will say it is important to date before marriage, which I'm going to be using this as another topic and to discuss it, so that I will give in my reasons and my opinion why it's important to date before getting married. So that's it and how I met my husband. So guys, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. Click on that red button that says subscribe to the channel, and as well the notification bell, so that if you want to follow up my stories, you need to be notified when I upload new videos. I hope you enjoyed the story, and if you have any story or if you have any question to ask me, please go ahead. And I'm honestly going to be open and very transparent, because whatever I say today is whatever my children are going to be hearing tomorrow. Whatever I say today is what I intend to use to, you know, motivate somebody else. I don't want to add or minus to it. My stories, my honesty, that's what I'm sharing. And allow me, those Facebook, YouTube judge and coaches, allow me to be me. Allow me to share my story. Don't tell me why do you have to. Don't tell me why do you have to come on social media. Don't tell me because social media, YouTube, Facebook, no be your papa get am. It's free. I am paid. I'm using my internet to upload my own. I'm using my Wi-Fi to upload my own. So don't come and judge me, because you judging me or you telling me why do you are making a fool of yourself, because you can't live my life for me. You can't make my decisions for me. You can't tell me what I'll do. I'll do what I think that makes me feel better. Thank you for watching. I bless you. God bless you. Bye.